If you know what is pathways. Only a few. And keep your hand up for members if you usually use pathway materials for your speeches. Even less. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. So I guess it's legitimate for me to say that we are having a problem now, right? Because Pathways is actually our official educational program in Toastmaster. So if you pay to become a Toastmaster member, you actually pay for Pathways, and then we don't use it. So this is a speech about Pathways, but let me clarify a couple of things first. I'm not an old grumpy Toastmaster in his fading days, kind of coming here to blame all about Pathways. Yeah? But on the other side, I'm not a Pathway ambassador who come here and praise Pathways in all the way possible to you. So what is that speech about? It's actually from a member, a fellow member, who's completed a path presentation mastery and on the way to complete the second path, innovative planning. And I'd like to share with you a couple of tips that I actually wish I knew it when I started Pathways. So a couple of boring kind of information before we get into the interesting part. Pathway was designed and created around 2010 to 2016. And it was kind of implemented as our official educational program from 2017 and 2018. There's a bit of transition, 2-year transition there from the old educational program to Pathway, but it's not that long. And so when you become a member of Toastmaster, you will be given the login information to get access to Toastmaster International website. And you have to do a short survey, and the answer from that survey will give you a sort of recommendation which path you should take. However, my first tip here is that you shouldn't stop there. Instead, I would highly recommend you to have a look at the whole path that you've chosen. Because I believe we always underestimate how important it is to give our mind the whole picture, especially our subconscious mind. Because when the mind knows the whole picture, all the requirements, all the speeches that you have to do, it will reduce a lot of hesitation and also procrastination when it comes to specific stage with the speech, especially some of the difficult speeches at the end of the path, like Matt, right? Delivering a keynote speech from 15 to 22 minutes, which is quite challenging actually. So have a kind of look for the whole picture. All the speeches from the path is very beneficial there. And I would like to recommend you to do it at the beginning. You don't have to prepare for anything there, just have a look. But I think it's really important. Now let me move on to what is kind of the main advantage of Pathways. Any Toastmaster member here can guess, please? What is the main advantage of Pathways?
You can learn.
You can learn? Okay. A bit more specific, please.
Learn about
structure. Too specific. It's all online. So it's completely environmental friendly. And it's something that we have to think about, right? We have to care for the environment. Because before Pathways, everything is printed paper. And we got manuals after manuals. And it's not thin. So we did a lot of damage to the environment. So Pathway is very kind of an evolution there for Toastmaster. And also because it becomes online, always Toastmaster International can make a change or add more materials if our members believe that they need it, right? And that's a good side. Now let me come to the bad side or not too good side, right? Exactly because online, no one kind of limit your materials. So Toastmaster International used to provide too much information. And for a careful person like myself, usually I took like 30 minutes just to read through all the information before I even got to the project checklist, you know, to know the objective of my next speech. So it's like a burden there, even for us to just start our project. So my second tips for you guys today is try to get the project checklist and the evaluation form as soon as possible. And can you guess what do I mean by as soon as possible? What is the best time to get the two kind of materials? Anyone?
1 week before the meeting.
No, it's too late, you know.
As soon as possible.
Right after you just deliver a speech. Get the project checklist and the evaluation form for the next speech. So, no, it's actually save a lot of time for you to prepare for that speech, actually. Because when you know the objectives of the speech, it's very easy for the mind to work when you don't care about that, you know. You don't have to use your conscious mind. And with that, you could come up with quite a few kind of possible topics to talk about. Wow, it's green already. Okay, so I guess it's only two kind of general tips I got for you guys today. But let me finish with a couple personal sharing here. I hope I can inspire you to use more pathway. Because after being in Toastmaster for a while, I believe that if we keep doing the kind of freestyle speeches, it's good. It's actually good because we could kind of present what we are thinking at that moment, right? But after a while, you stop growing actually, because you stop focusing on kind of some aspects of public speaking. And therefore, only when I completed the path that I realized how important it is to follow the educational program, to really think hard and deep about how I can use more body language in a speech or something like that. It's very useful actually. But it's the thing that I could only kind of look back and see, not from the beginning. And that's what I would like to share with you. And the second thing is about the variety of speeches actually in pathways. So it's from icebreaker, 4 to 6 minutes, to a keynote speech, 15 to 22 minutes. It's from a speech with Q&A session at the end, to a speech where you have to, not really a speech, but a panel discussion where you have to moderate a lot of kind of guests there. So when you follow pathways, you see that it's challenging, but it's actually for your own growth. And the final thing I'd like to share with you, based on my experience, is actually I learned more from my own mistakes doing this stuff. Do you actually know how to control the situation and be yourself when you actually forget even the long paragraph in your script? Could you do it? If you don't learn from your mistake, I doubt that you have that calmness and confidence to continue. These things I could only learn after I made that mistake on the stage. And that's actually what I think is the most valuable thing in Toastmaster and for Pathway as well. That you come to use Toastmaster as a platform to make mistakes and then be stronger after that. So I guess it's not really educational here, right? But I hope with all the kind of information and sharing, you come to think that pathway is a bit more valuable than before. And you will use it in your own public speaking development. Thank you.